with your jjajangmyeon and jangpo.
8 or 9 or something. It's just amazing to think back to it. Anyway, you have quite a bright and outgoing personality. We've come on to that. And you've used that in your career through you've done TV and radio both, right? Tell us a little bit about your background in some of those areas.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I think, I guess naturally, I'm a little larger than any of the Asian women that you'll probably see. People are going to notice me anyway. So if you're going to notice me, hey, I'm going to give you my personality straight up bat. This is what I am. And, back in high school days, they used to call me the Energizer Bunny. And, she's still going. Tung, 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 still going. But, I have this energy. And I think, in front of the camera or on the microphone on radio, any kind of energy I can give to anyone, whether it's, for English learning or to be confident. Because, of course, in English learning or any kind of language learning, you have to be confident. So if anything, being confident with yourself, that's the number one thing. People, ask me, people always bring up, that I'm larger or my weight. And, for me, this is me, love me for who I am, and I'll be confident with who I am. And that's what it is. If with your English learning, if you're not there yet, but be confident where you are and then, work at it harder to get better at it. But, I think my energy just comes from, I don't know, it's not what I eat. It's just me and within me.
But what about the TV and radio shows that you did in the past? What you've been doing some up until just recently, right?
Yeah, I did, for 5 years I've DJ'd a radio show live every night from 8 to 10.
Wow.
Yeah, every night. And on the weekends we pre-recorded, of course. But we've had some great guests. I've interviewed the Pussycat Dolls, Melanie from the Pussycat Dolls, Neo was an interview once, B2K, the rap hip hop guys.
You did some big people.
Yeah, who was Run DMC. Of course, Run is passed away into another world, but DMC, and just a number of K-pop stars. Singer Tim came on my show once. Of course, we mentioned Brian Ju, who came on. He's like a friend to the show that I did. BMK, who's getting married in July, and was it June that she's getting married? Sorry, and I introduced her to her fiance. Let's see, and other show guests that I've mentioned. DJ Shine, Joan, Danny Jung. These are great people that we became friends through our professional field, and that was with radio. We went on for 5 years with that. With TV, my goodness, EBS, it's unlimited of stuff that I did, and I don't think it's an end here. We'll still, continue to go with stuff, but I do a lot of things right now with Sunung and a lot of the recordings for The Voice because I do some voice acting. I'm the voice for Seoul, the subway system, line number 7, and all the connectors of line number 9. So Express Bus Terminal, and all of Daejeon subway is my voice too. I've done so many different kind of things, and just in TV, of course, we don't have any longer, which is a great show, Survival English, Listening Special, all these junior high school programs. And, as we're talking right now, the camera 감독님, the camera director back there, I've known him 11 years ago when we did our very first show, the Listening Special at EBS. And so it's great.
Listening Special is a radio show, right?
That was actually a TV show at first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then later they developed a Listening Special on the radio at EBS Radio. But we did a TV show. It was like a game show. And that's when we were starting to launch, I think, at EBS, more educational, fun things with games and, with the band and music and things like this. So, it comes, I guess I could say pretty much one of the first few Korean Americans to really get started in this business. Yeah.
And now that you've had so much experience with EBS, Before that, what were you doing in America for a career before you came to Korea and started your career?
Yeah, it's very interesting. In the United States, when I was growing up, after university, I worked for a big international computer company, and that's, of course, in the 90s. That was the big IT era when big things were happening.
Still is.
Yeah, which is still. And at the time, I was a national executive manager, and I stepped right into that position because one of my brother's best friends who owned the company wanted me to, work with some things like that. And so I did a lot of presentation sales and things like this. Then I went into more of, I guess we can say, political scene where I was a human rights commissioner for the Fairfax County Commission. So I guess in Korea we would say 대변인. And there was 12 commissioners for the Human Rights Commission. And most people were, there was a member who from the CIA, there was a member from, the attorneys. And so they were a lot older than me. At that time I was in my 20s. So the very first female. And I was appointed to this position, Congressman Davis, who's still a congressman right now in Washington, D.C. And I did that up to my 3-year term. I did a lot of image consulting too, and that's probably where from my fashion, comes from there is image consulting from head to toe about presenting yourself in companies and presentations and things and how to present yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
You did a lot of stuff while you were back there. 3 years on there was a Human Rights Commission?
Human Rights Commission for Fairfax County.
For the county?
And our county is...
Who was getting their human rights abused in your county? What were they doing?
Well, yeah, there's a lot, and Fairfax County is considered one of the top 5 counties in the whole United States. And,
top 5 what?
Of counties of, their
lifestyle?
whole, not really lifestyles, I guess, counties, what can we say to,
population? What were
not population, the budget, everything. They were one of the top 5 counties to live in, I guess.
Okay.
That's
okay. Yeah. So one of the best lifestyle top 5. Okay.
And so in Fairfax County is where, there's the population is just incredible amount of people. And, I think Korea is the state of Virginia, our state. Korea fits into our state. And you know how many states we have in the United States. So our county is very large. Fairfax County is very large. And so, this is, they have different positions of commissions of different divisions, and our county had a Human Rights Commission, and this is where we sat on that board for 3 years. And issues that would come up with county, just say like telecom communication companies, and there was some incident with their boss and then a female, and these are things that we would have to sit and listen to. We were like the judges in the commission, and then we would have to then tell them and come up with a vote of, do we go ahead and continue to agree with this case or that case, and then do they go on to a higher court, or do they just, negotiate right there of how it should be handled? So these are, and these